So, I don't have that great of vision, and it's so late that I don't think that my memorization skills can really be trusty. So I'm going to hold my laptop. Feel free to judge me for it, but that's the only reason I'm hiding behind it. Legally blind at the age of 6 months. Black blind by the age of 5 if my vision continued deteriorating. Cerebral palsic, an IQ of 60. Autistic, dyslexic, pretty much every single label that can describe you if you are bound in a wheelchair, physically and mentally handicapped. That was me. That was the diagnosis that my parents were given after they had spent 9 very long, hard years trying to have a child, which was me. Luckily, my mom worked at the White House for several years as a social aide. And in her time there, she had encountered a group of neurologists. The Institutes for the Achievement of Human Potential, ridiculously wordy name if you ask me, they did a lot of work with brain injuries, curing everything from the neurological effects of autism to taking people back who were in comas and had 5% brain function. They fixed it. They've had 19 Nobel Prize winners research with them. And when she called their American branch, the Family Hope Center, they laughed at her when she told them my diagnosis. And I said, yeah, it's fine, we'll clean her up. But I don't think anything in life is ever that simple. So, from the age of 7 months until 7 years, I did 14 hours of physical therapy every day. And now I am who I am today. An IQ of 160, national champion in ice skating and cheerleading, here with you today. And I lived a normal life. The work that I did was my gate to normality, to have a life like all of you. Now, when I was 14, I was cheerleading, I was active in my local church, doing all of those ridiculously all-American things that basically makes you think I have apple pie every night. And I started belly dancing. And I saw a dancer who absolutely took my breath away. I had never seen someone who could move like that. But when I asked who the dancer was, no one used the same pronoun. I'm going to show you a picture of my dance instructor, Draconis. Not exactly either traditional gender, is he? So, like millennial I am, I went to Google, found his YouTube channel. I found out that Drake was transgender and was transitioning, in the middle of transitioning, from female to male. And I went through all of his YouTube videos because I was fascinated. I mean, I'm from Texas. I had never met a gay person, let alone a trans person, completely out of my realm of knowledge. And he did a video about coming out. Someone asked his advice. And he said, don't come out if your friends are going to beat you up, if your family is going to throw you out, if you believe that your life would be in danger, or that your family would kill you for being who you are. Now, my parents went through hell to have me, and then, quite frankly, they went through hell to give me the right to a normal life. So the fact that there were people right now, as we speak, in their homes, fearing for their safety and life because of who they were or who they loved, blew my mind. And I knew I had to do something. I decided to write a book. My mom was a published author. She had a friend who was the top gay romance writer in the world. And they both encouraged me to pursue this idea I had about writing a book that Drake could have read as a teenager, and it would have told him there might be challenges, but it'll be okay. So I wrote it when I was 14, and Breaking Free was published when I was 15 with Dreamspinner Press, the largest imprint of LGBTQ fiction in the world. It translates into 12 languages and goes into about 50 different countries. And I was lucky enough that my mother's literary agent, my parents, people around you, and the publisher themselves decided to work with me, even though I wasn't even 15 at the time that I made the sale. When it got time for the book to release, I had turned 15, but we faced a pretty big problem. You tell me how you market a straight white girl from Texas who's writing about LGBTQ issues, who's not even 18. How do you market that? Like, where do you start? It was completely unprecedented. The youngest author at that point was a girl who was 18 in England. But I was lucky that my publisher believed in me, and they got me to a big marketing firm in New York. And then they had no idea. But I told them, give me a radio interview. My voice is my strongest asset here. It is my strongest option to try and spread this message that I believe in about acceptance and tolerance and everyone's right to equality. First, I only got 3 offers. After those 3 interviews, I got 7. And then it ended up that I did about over 40 interviews in 4 months. Through all of this, I faced the devil that I would have to begin social media marketing on Twitter and Instagram if I wanted my voice to really be amplified. There was a lot of trial and error, mostly error, but eventually I kind of started to figure it out, and it started working. And now I have about 15,000 followers on Twitter, and I'm approaching 4,000 on Instagram if I can ever get it to work. And then I got this call in the middle of June in 2015 from a man I'd never met before, from an organization I'd never heard of before. His name was Vinny. He was from the HRC, which some of you may know as the largest LGBTQ rights lobbying organization in the world. They do tons of work, and I'd never heard of them before, but they had heard of me. And they wanted to bring me on as their token straight ally for their new youth initiative program. Flabbergasted, I was like, yes, of course. And this incredible opportunity was opened up for me to try my marketing on other people in the HRC. And it worked. And people were able to raise up their voices and amplify their message of acceptance and of their struggles. And then eventually, Wattpad got in contact with me, which has about 50 million users, and they asked my advice on marketing their new LGBTQ section. And I hoped and prayed that what I told them would work. And they implemented it in their mainstream section this year, and it's worked better than any of us could have ever hoped. I think it's very easy for me to just sit up here and tell you my story, but you shouldn't care. Like, who cares? It doesn't really matter. What matters is everything I learned along the way. When 14 hours a day of physical therapy is what you know of childhood, you get a very defined sense that working, even second by second, even if you are years away from your end goal, every single second you put in is one step closer to the goal that you know you have to get to. It's one step closer. There were definitely plenty of people who told me no, who told me, you are a crazy person. Whether it was because I was a girl, because I had been brain injured, or because I wasn't even 18 yet. There were plenty of people telling me no along the way. And negativity sucks. I mean, it's cliche, but negativity really sucks. I mean, I got kicked out of the church that I had gone to, that I was baptized in, by the pastor who baptized me, because I think that LGBTQ people are human beings who deserve rights. I can't go to my high school because of the death threats that I receive from my peers. Go Texas. And I wanted to quit a lot of the time, if I'm being honest. I mean, it sucked a lot of the time. But at the end of the day, they are not the riptoe that I let drown me. And no one should be the riptoe that you let drown you. Because the shore is always closer than you think. And there will always be supportive people along the way. And I was lucky that I had them. The other thing I think that everyone in here has experienced is an adult telling you that your voice doesn't matter or that it shouldn't have volume. And that the only thing you care about is taking the best selfie possible, which is important, but, you know. I bet all of you have something that you really care about. From your dog to world peace. There is something that matters to you more than anything else. There's something that you want to see happen. There's something that you want to make happen. Do not let go of that. The only person who can define what you do with that drive is yourself. It doesn't matter the circumstances you're coming from, the obstacles you're facing, the people telling you no. You are, at the end of the day, in control of everything that happens to you. I didn't get put into these industries because there was a place, because people were looking for me to fill a position. I carved it out tooth and nail because I knew it mattered. Because it mattered to me. And I knew it was important. And I knew it needed to happen. Find that. Hold on to that. And don't you dare let anyone get in your way. If you have a dream, there's a way, and you must be courageous enough to look for it. It may be hard to find, and it may seem futile at times, but there is absolutely a way. Look where I come from. Look where I am now. You can't tell me that there is not a way through. And once you find that way, it is up to you and no one else to make sure that you can either take that risk and fail, or you can take that risk and succeed and get your wildest dreams and have opportunities open up to you that you never could have imagined. Or you just walk away because you were afraid. So, my message really, at the end of the day, boils down to this. It is not, if there's a will, there's a way. It's if you have a dream, there is a way, but only if you have the will. Thank you.